It's happy hour again from Central City, New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. We're at Casa Borrega on Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard in Central City, right at Felicity Boulevard. Casa Borrega is a bar, a restaurant, and a live music venue. It's been open now for about a month. Come down and check it out. You can also follow them on Facebook and see what they're up to on Twitter as well. Keep up. I think this week it's... who's playing this week? Somebody awesome.
I'm not sure.
Can't remember. We'll have to find that out. Let's get on. In the next 60 minutes, you're going to meet 6 of the many thousands of fascinating people who live in New Orleans, none of whom know who's playing at Casa Borrega this weekend.
Call us with the schedule.
It's that awesome band whose name I can't remember. You're going to get to hear some live music on this show as well. At the end of the show, you might conclude New Orleans is a great city where people love to talk, have fun, and enjoy great music. But you probably know that already. So let's get right on with doing nothing but enjoying the next 60 minutes of happy hour together. My very eclectic bunch of guests sitting around the table here at Casa Borrega today are in no particular order. Molly Wismeyer. Molly is the wine director at Restaurant Revolution, which is spelled R''Evolution. It has nothing to do with Darwin or anything, right?
No, nothing like that.
Why is it spelled R''Evolution?
That's from Chef Folse and his idea.
Lean in there, talk right into that microphone.
Is that better? Can
That's
you hear me
nice,
better now?
yes.
Okay. Chef Folse came from his goal, and what our mission is the evolution of Creole and Cajun cuisine. So it's R'', it's not really a revolution, it's
It's an R''Evolution. Why is the letter R in there at all? Why isn't it Restaurant Evolution? Or Creole Evolution. Okay, this is getting really arcane already. Molly was seduced into moving to New Orleans in 2010 by no less a culinary luminary than Chef John Folse, who you were just talking about, when he opened Revolution inside the legendary Royal Sonesta Hotel. That's where it is. Prior to hustling wine on Bourbon Street, Molly was a Russian language translator. Wow, before defecting to the world of wine and dining, where she shot to prominence primarily in Chicago. By 2010, when Molly moved to New Orleans, she was named one of the top 25 sommeliers in the United States. Wow, you're a big deal.
I don't really know whoever said that.
In the booze department. Is that not true? Is that all just bullshit, really?
Great publicist. What's going on?
Come on, tell the truth.
Sell yourself here, Mo.
You don't have to be falsely modest. You can tell me if you really are one of the top 25 sommeliers.
Well, it depends on whom you're speaking with, right? I mean,
the other 24, say. What would they say?
well, and what year was that anyway? So
2010.
Well, I know.
Have you got better or worse?
That's a very good question.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How much wine have you drunk today?
I just tasted 10 wines.
10.
What a job.
Nice.
And
look at Adrian's face. Really? How do I get that?
And a beer.
Where do I interview?
Really awesome beer.
I know.
Trying out for beer tasting job.
Absolutely. Mostly I just smelled it because these days, if I'm drinking in the middle of the afternoon, then forget the rest of the day. And I was like, oh my God, I have to go be like on a radio show. I can't drink this stuff right now.
Is that right? Does it make you
drinking
makes you less interesting? It always makes me more interesting, strangely enough. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was afraid to become even more shy and all that sort of
thing.
Are you
shy?
So I'm like, yeah.
We'll bring it out of you in just a minute. Going around the table, Adrian Simpson is the creator and co-founder of New Orleans Ice Cream. New Orleans Ice Cream is the all-natural ice cream with the fleur-de-lis ice cream cone on the pack, and the only New Orleans flavors like Chocolate City, Hubig's apple pie, Ponchatoula strawberry, and 20 others. There's 23 flavors now.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Awesome.
how many? Yeah. No. What happened here?
Hello.
Oh, no.
Here you
There we
go.
go.
There it is.
And how many flavors did you bring with you? There's a whole
About 7 or 8
7 or 8. Now, you've probably guessed already that Adrian's not from here.
from West Wego.
West Wego, from Boutique.
That's where it
Adrian
is.
moved to New Orleans from
Yeah.
the home of the Beatles, Liverpool, England, in 2000 to make cool brew coffee.
I did.
Since his arrival, Adrian has immersed himself in the New Orleans way of life, increasing the per capita alcohol consumption in the French Quarter, where he lives, and throwing legendary Mardi Gras parties.
I do, yeah.
I saw your face light up when we talked about wine tasting there.
Yes, I'm a big fan.
Have you been drinking it all today? Oh, you have a beer.
Yeah, I've got a beer in my hand that you kindly gave me.
Yeah, well, that's from Casa Borrega.
I'm the only one, actually. What's going
No,
on
I need
there?
one. I need.
Oh, you have a
I
beer?
have
There's beer in a
There you
bucket.
go. Good.
I know.
There's
I
beer
went for
in the bucket
water.
over there. Do you want to grab one?
I'll grab one.
No, you can. Well, you can want to go grab. Oh, Caroline can get it.
Did I get any green M&Ms?
Force us to drink, please.
I'm on the clock.
You guys drink? Darcy, you drinking anything?
I'm about to.
You get to start
Okay,
drinking,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
That's the voice of Darcy Malone, who's also here with Chris Boy, Steve Chiswick, and Billy Shell, collectively known as The Tangle, a New Orleans band who play, what would you describe that, pop, rock, or what?
Thank you.
I would call it pop rock, absolutely.
Pop rock. I'm
With a little
right on
bit-
both of those.
combination.
Combination of a
soul in
lot
it.
of different
Yeah, with
things.
a little soul and not a whole lot of pop rocks.
Pop rocks is not
Right.
it. Darcy is the singer and the keyboard player in the band. Chris is the singer and guitar player. Billy's the drummer, and Steve is also the guitar player.
Thank you.
The Tangle started off in New Orleans before Hurricane Katrina drove them to Austin, Texas for a few years, where they released their first album, Diamond Doorstop. The Tangle's New Orleans pedigree is too serious, however, for them to live anywhere else. Darcy's father is Dave Malone from the Radiators, and Darcy sung with everybody from Teresa Anderson to the Fister Sisters. Is your mom in the Fister Sisters?
She was. She was the original middle Fister sister.
She wasn't the fourth sister? And
No,
was the P
she,
in-
She was
before
the P
Debbie
in Fister.
Davis, she was in the middle. And
How many sisters are there in the Fister Sisters?
There are 3.
It's like the Lennon sisters or the
Yeah,
Andrews
the
sisters.
Boswell sisters.
Right.
And so there are 3 of them. However, there are many sub-sisters all around,
Step-sisters.
too. Sub.
Not stepsisters. They don't
They
call
could
them,
be stepsisters.
They don't call them stepsisters?
Yeah.
What? Why did she quit, your mom?
She actually left New Orleans and moved to Maine for a while, and
they
she
wouldn't let her
just
back in?
recently moved back. Well, she left for quite a long time, so now she's back, but she's still singing.
She is.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on here, and I'm almost finished this. Last year, the Tangle released the extremely well-received Now We're Awake album. And this year, they're establishing themselves as New Orleans' most infectiously fun and popular live rock band. That's true. You guys are all over town now.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
are.
we are.
You
What
can
happened?
twist to the music.
What
So-
happened is we got Billy Shell
Billy
in
Shell's
the
the drummer.
band as the drummer, and this guy just knows how to network. So
Is that what it is?
I have been networking a networking fool.
He's been
Absolutely.
a networking fool.
Yes, I've been calling and harassing people.
Well,
for
you've been in
gigs.
bands for a long time. You were in the Boondoggles back in the day there.
It's
With my brother.
with Johnny,
With John
absolutely,
Malone?
Johnny
Yeah,
Porkchop
wow,
Malone
that's cool.
and Robert Johnston. We had a great time, and we still play here and there. Actually, they're going to open up for us on the 14th of September at Gaza Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
But we've just been
That's how that's pronounced, is it? Gaza Gaza.
or Gaza Gaza.
It's Japanese
Gaza,
for.
Gaza.
Does
Have you
anybody
been-
remember? It's
What's that?
Japanese for
This
something.
is Chris.
Yes.
Japanese, it's
I don't remember the
like
the owner
kamikaze.
told-
I think that's what they yelled when the
Going
planes
too
were
fast.
going.
was
It is
Really?
honestly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
That was oh shit.
You're taking
Yeah,
things
that's
too
English.
fast.
Gaza Gaza is Japanese for
Gaza
going
Gaza.
too fast.
So you got to say Gaza Gaza.
Somebody will definitely call or write to us and tell us that that's bullshit if it is.
Well, I
Probably.
can tell you right
Tell me
now,
now
that's
if
what the
it's-
bar owner told me.
That's
so
what they
Take
think
it up
it
with him.
is.
Take it
Yeah.
up with the bar owner.
You got it.
Write
you,
us
you
down
got
email.
it. Absolutely.
You could always
But-
Google it right now.
Yeah. But we have
Okay.
definitely been getting some momentum and
Yeah, it's
riding a little
exciting.
wave here.
Yeah, that's a great band. It's fun to go see. And it's kind of infectiously pop, sort of B-52s
Yeah, we get that a lot.
kind of vibe.
Yeah, you got to have that element to it, definitely. Even if you add a little blues to it, you don't want it to be too downy.
Right.
We like to have a lot of energy and a lot of fun at the shows.
We
so.
do like to have fun, and we all come from different backgrounds
Right.
and tastes in music, so it just I feel like it creates this really fun.
Now, you
element.
two are not only in the band together, you're also married.
We are
To each other, I mean.
Right.
to each
Right.
other.
That's what I heard.
Was that, what came first, music or love?
Music.
Really?
We
Yeah.
actually
You met-
the band was an instrumental band. I don't even remember what it was called at the time.
It's your own band, you don't remember what it was called?
Well, it wasn't mine.
Before
it was
she was
his.
there.
Before I was there, I was asked
Okay.
to come see them because they wanted a singer. So my sister, who actually was friends with him,
Is she in a
brought me
band as
there.
well, your sister?
She's not. She's a photographer.
Wow. She's the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Always have one.
So I ended up joining the band, and we became best friends and co-writers.
What was it?
and
What
then,
was it about the band that you liked that you wanted to join them? Apart from Chris,
The
was it?
guitarist, yeah.
Was it love at first sight?
Well, yeah.
Everybody else is taken.
It was.
She says that now.
The drummer was dating.
Everybody else was
I
taken
liked
in the
that they
band.
were really different. I had come from doing stuff with Dad and in New Orleans, just staying in that funk scene, and
Right.
I don't know. To me, being in a rock and roll band just seemed really appealing to me.
Even though you
And
grew up with that, was your father was the singer on the Radiators your
Yes,
whole life, right?
he
He never
was.
had a real job and then gave it up to be.
He
you were
he
born.
actually started as a phone man and the
Phone.
Radiators when I was born, and then retired at the age of 24 or something, and had the Radiators, and they were around as long as I've been around.
What did
so.
you say he was originally?
A phone man
Phone.
AT&T.
for AT&T.
As what? Like installing?
Installing phones.
Going up those poles and
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
There
the things
were
with the wires.
landlines. There used to be landlines in every house.
Yeah,
And,
you might have seen those before.
That's a phone. Then you had the like you push the buttons on the
Right.
No,
sort of-
actually, the
and there's a-
rotary dial.
Oh, they went
Right.
around.
You
Yeah.
pick the receiver up and you.
I'm
that
obviously not
wasn't
that
that
old.
long
They
ago.
didn't
Yeah,
have.
that
There were
was-
no apps on the phones. You couldn't
Yeah.
play games on them, or there
Right.
were no
a phone with no
apps.
apps. Who
Something
would
about
who would
carrier-
buy
Who
that?
wants that?
I could see why you retired.
Just our grandparents.
Who would want to do that?
He saw the future.
So
He's like, I gotta get out of
I
here.
never knew that. Dave Malone does not appear to me to be the kind of guy that would be shinnying up a ladder.
I want
He
to
was.
see
Screwing-
that.
you know, that's
He
interesting.
was.
It's a
He
little
did
known
for-
fact.
Depends what he was doing up
For
there.
years. It's true. Who knows what was actually happening?
Okay.
Okay.
So then he became a singer in a rock and roll band. That's
Well,
what
he
you grew
actually
up with.
he was playing for a long time. Him and my mother were in a band together called Dust Woofy.
Dust Woofy.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting that your father and your mother were in a band together, and you and your husband are in a band together.
I know.
Now, how
right?
long did you and your father and your mother stay married and in the same band?
They till I was 3.
And how long have you been in the same band, you two?
We've been in this. We've been
5
playing music
years?
together for 7 years.
I see you've already
7
beaten
years.
them by miles.
Well,
Yeah,
how
we
old's,
have-
how old's Elliot?
Elliot's
them.
1.
Okay, they got.
we do
got-
have
we
a
got
son,
about-
so
we
we
got
got
about
a
a
few
year
more
and a
good
half.
years.
Have you ever thought of starting a dating agency for musicians so you can
I
seem to
know.
do like a bit of a thing
We
going on?
should.
Start a band, hook up with a singer.
I'll tell you what, it makes it a lot easier to have your husband in the band, and
In what
you don't have
sense?
to worry. Well, you don't have to worry about. I don't know. Musicians are hard to date
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
right?
you're not one, because you don't understand the fact that they have so much to do
At
and
night, and you
at
know,
night, and
what's he doing? Is he with the band
yeah.
or
What's
wha-
up with these groupies? You
Yeah.
know, to me, I find that funny, but
Do you?
yeah. I love when he gets hit on. It's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen.
Who's feeling discomfort? You, the groupies, or
Not me, Chris.
Right.
It's me because she's standing right there.
yeah?
I'm laughing. I love it.
Yeah.
He's like
It's a lot better
Cougar
when they
Central.
hit on me when you're not there.
Right,
That's the
I'm
problem.
sure. I'm
Right.
sure
Right.
it's a different
but
sense.
you can't do much about it though. You can't go fucking groupies when your wife's in the same
It's
band.
true.
You've just negated the best part of being in a
harder.
band.
It's so much
surely.
harder.
What the
I know.
fuck?
I just
Can we
made it
start
all
talking
bad.
about the ice cream?
What's the point of being in a rock and roll band if you
Can't bang groupies.
you're not banging people? Or do
You
you?
must get really high a lot.
I
tell
don't
you.
know. Wait,
And drunk.
the band might be over after this interview.
Thanks.
and you
Where's
write
the wine?
you write
Where's the
together as
wine?
well, right?
We do. We write together. Wait, that's
Okay, well, listen.
actually where it all came from. So
That's awesome.
So you started off writing together and then
It
fell
just
in love in the course.
fell
Although it
in
was
love.
love at first sight for you, Darcy.
of course.
Was it for you, Chris? Did you take one look at her and go, "Oh my God, that's my wife. That's my wife you're talking to"?
I noticed something started happening when I was practicing with the smelly guys instrumentally, and all of a sudden this like air of perfume would come into the room, and I was like,
Dun,
I'm gonna
dun.
look over
Jesus.
there because
I
that's
know.
really nice,
The
and all
sense of
those
smell is very
all
powerful.
these sweaty metal guys are gonna have to go eventually.
So that was the smell that attracted you.
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Was the fact that you did not smell like a sweaty guy in a band. That's quite a recommendation.
What a charmer.
It's one of those. It's one of those.
Hey, listen,
Actually,
Molly.
I mean, seriously, the sense of smell is our most powerful sense, and it's our only sense that has the ability to overcome our rationale.
No.
Okay,
way.
now we're getting somewhere.
Really? Now we're
Really?
getting deep.
I'm drinking.
Yes.
I
Really?
Bring
believe
it
that
on,
thing totally
sommelier.
makes sense.
Hang
Bring it on. Yeah.
I want to hear this.
What is? Yeah, me too.
It
What
really
do you
is.
What do you mean by overcome our rationale?
First of all, it can evoke memories, and mostly it evokes memories from your childhood, and it's very subconscious, so you don't even know, and it can cause you to have urges and do things that you're
Memories.
not aware of.
I remember the smell of
Pick memories.
Play-Doh.
Um,
I remember Play-Doh growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Takes me
Play-Doh,
back
right?
to
What
when
about
I'm
Play-Doh?
like-
What about bread baking, something like that? What
Uh-huh.
about playing in the backyard dirt, that sort of thing?
It's
Like,
Really
the
bad
unused
fart.
or the way your
sense.
the way your mother smelled, the way your father smelled, and our pheromones and everything inside. Because studying wine, you have to study the olfactory senses and break it down, and that gets all boring. But the fun part is to know that the sense of smell has that power to overcome your rationale. Because your brain, you think about your brain, you're thinking these things, and what's rational? What should I be doing, right? And your sense of smell, you smell like just like that. like he said, it caused him to turn, and it's like it's very animal.
Yeah.
To say
Yeah.
it's very
Wow.
guttural. It's like you're doing things.
It's
You're like, why am
ingrained
I?
in us for a long time. We probably
Yeah.
should have been paying attention to our noses like the other animals do. They smell where
Absolutely.
their food is.
Is
that
They
how we
they
should
smell
introduce
where
ourselves?
Their mates are. They smell their
It's
mates.
actually it's
Yeah.
interesting. I
We just
read
look.
this stuff because I'm studying about you have to know the difference between Cabernet Sauvignon and Syrah and all this.
Well, I would hope you would if
Boring.
you wanted
Will you
the
tell
top
me?
25.
Boring. To me,
I know.
I don't want to talk about that stuff. But when you have to understand how the brain works, and then I have to teach people how to do that when we're serving tables and
Well,
stuff.
how does the
like
brain work?
the olfactory?
Yeah, I mean, how
sense
does it
and-
work? I mean,
Well, I don't know
really,
how
what
the brain
happens?
exactly works, but I know how to relate it to how you should decipher smells and wine and stuff
Well,
like
how
that.
do you? Because I've always wondered that people say that it's got like an aroma of fruit or bananas, and it doesn't. Of
You know
course.
what?
Freshly mown grass.
There you go.
Actually, it's exactly.
Yes.
And those are things that when people always ask, well, because you do smell fresh cut grass in Sauvignon Blanc, particularly when it comes from New
Do you?
Zealand.
Do you really?
Well, okay. Now people are going to ask. They say, oh, did they put that in there? It's like no. It's just there's an aroma that it's memory. It's all sense
Are you
memory.
sure someone's just told you it
Huh.
smells like grass, so you're supposed to smell
that
grass?
happens too. That absolutely
So
happens.
how many
but-
how many different flavors are in wine? Because I read somewhere that in some good tequilas there's 100 different.
Exactly, very complex, and whiskey is even more complex and bourbon than wine and tequila. Do I know the exact number? But at least 100, something like that. What
Yeah.
you're able to sense is very high too, but what we're aware of, it's the sense memory, and
Wow.
sense memory is triggered by like us talking. Now you're all going to be like in Sauvignon Blanc, you're like, where's that fresh cut grass? Because
Yeah.
somebody did mention it.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
Adrian,
But-
the point Adrian was making, I think, was that it's not. There is no fresh cut grass in there, right?
Yeah.
So why do we think it smells like
Maybe
fresh
there
cut
is.
grass when it
Because
doesn't?
it's grass is herbal, it's herbaceous, and there is an herbal element that comes from the phenols. So that's where you get into the scientific, boring part of the wine.
Well, you know,
You're
I just
like,
thought of something. Maybe there's
where's
only
the-
so many keys there's only so many notes in a musical octave. What is it?
12.
Yes.
12.
12,
Maybe
yeah.
there's only so many smells in the world. Maybe there's a finite number of smells.
I'm-
But they're mixed
I'm
like
sure they're probably-
gumbos, so each one is
Yeah.
Right, like you can
And they're
with those
layered
12
upon.
notes, you can make all kinds of music,
Right,
infinite numbers.
harmonies.
Yeah, so maybe it's the same with smells. There's
Yeah.
only a finite number, but the mixing.
is
I really
infinite.
like
Could I
that
be onto something?
analogy.
Could I be onto a PhD
Yeah.
thesis?
There's a lot. I do a lot of analogies between music and wine. There's a
bet.
lot. It's very right and left
Well,
brain and
going back to the smell of bands, and you said perfume came in. That could be your thesis.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, hold
This
on.
is what U2 smells like. This is what Simple Minds smell like. They all smell in a different.
We need to
Oh,
smell.
One
yeah.
smells
Billy
like
Smell.
whiskey.
Billy
You should change
Smell.
your name.
Billy-
One smells
yeah.
like Irish.
Billy
Smell.
smell.
Well, when I associate
Billy.
music in the old days, music and alcohol. It was music, and then I never really got a sense of smell out of the tequila because once it was poured, it was quickly down the hatch.
Yep.
It was never, and it was done
There
in
was
rapid
no time to
succession.
smell.
which is that's a great point because 95 maybe even higher percent of what we taste is what we smell. So if you're not taking the moment, I always have to teach everybody you have to smell for 10 seconds minimum,
10
and
seconds is a long time.
That's
to
a
hold
long
a glass
time.
It is.
That's like an awkward
It is.
pause.
So that
It is.
enhances
It
the
is.
taste. Is that what you're saying?
and everybody's like this, and I'm like, no, you have to smell, take it, swirl it, smell,
Play
absorb
with it.
because
it enhances the taste.
yeah, exactly. That's how you're tasting. It's through your olfactory,
Yeah,
right up
actually,
here in your
taste buds
brain.
are not that sensitive.
No, nope,
So
not at all.
Let me just ask you one question about wine. Are you supposed to get drunk?
Depends on what your end goal is.
Well, is it okay? Is that
Of
acceptable?
course, it's okay. Especially.
As a sommelier? you-
Oh, you am I supposed to get drunk?
Well, no,
oh,
not you at work.
no.
I'm
That's why it's
supposed
got
you're-
alcohol in
No.
it, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, well,
If you
that's what
inject
I
it,
was
do you
wondering.
still
'Cause
smell it?
that's a good point.
What was that
If you
question?
inject it, do you still smell it?
Inject
if
it.
you inject wine,
Inject it.
dude.
Ouch.
Dude, you need to seriously
Yeah.
I don't
calm-
kn-
calm the fuck
You need
down.
some ice cream, dude.
We do need some ice cream.
You want another
We're going to
beer,
be
Ed?
smelling ice cream soon. Like,
I know.
Adrian bought us a ton of ice cream here to try. But
this
first
It's
of all,
melting, by the way. Someone eat some.
Caroline can hook us up with some more beer.
Yeah, there's one right here.
Hey, listen,
Oh, did I get it?
don't spill it on this
Oh,
equipment.
I only pour things for a living.
Yeah, really. I can't believe you're a professional. That's
Right.
going on.
It's just electronics. It's no big deal.
So listen, before we move on to the next subject, which I have no idea what that is, what about hearing some music from the Tangle so we know what we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yes,
Come on.
absolutely.
Let's do it. What are you going to play, you guys?
We're gonna play a song called "Be a Man."
Be a man.
Yes.
Okay.
Doggone it.
Be a man, doggone it. All right. Hit
Count
it.
it off. Billy Smell.
Thank you.
You coming down on me. If you don't like what you see, then you can just kiss. Ah, I'm down here making moves, and if you don't like my groove, then take your sad ass home. I don't really like what's going on. Don't even like you in my song. And if you ain't gonna make some change, then maybe it's time we rearrange. Come on and be a man. If you can, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no changing who I am. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no changing who I am. Why you shaking in your boots? I'm just doing what I do. Your fear is turning me on. If you don't like my abuse, go and find another who will take you as you are. I don't really like what's going on. I don't even like you in my song. And if you ain't gonna make some change, then maybe it's time we rearrange. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no change to who I am. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no change in who I am. Whoa, I don't really like what's going on. I don't even like you in my song. And if you ain't gonna make some change, then maybe it's time we rearrange. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no change in who I am. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no change in who I am. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no change in who I am. Come on and be a man. If you can't, then I will understand. It's not like we made some plan and there ain't no change in who I am. Who I am, no changing. Who I am, no. Who I am, you're never changing. Who I
All right, the Tangle. What album is that on?
That's on Now We're Awake.
Very nice.
Our
Fucking
most
hell, that was
recent
great.
album.
That
Thank
looks,
you.
doesn't that just look so easy, Adrian?
Yeah,
Can
it's-
we get
I'm
a,
sat right
um,
next to her here, and that was just I knew the fingers go. Oh,
I
sorry.
know, yeah.
Fantastic. Great job.
Thank you.
And that's a man
Wonderful.
who's seen the
Can you
Beatles.
get that? Or what?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you get that on
I don't know about
iTunes and all that?
Yes,
shit?
you
Yeah.
can. You can.
If-
Oh, really?
If you
I
can give
actually
us
brought some discs today.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll give you all a disc.
yeah,
Can you get me a disc player as well?
Okay, then you can get it on iTunes.
Can we get
Thank
a
you.
New Orleans ice cream endorsement? We'll play that song every day.
Officially endorsed by New
I
Orleans
know.
Ice
That's a
Cream.
great
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
You can wear ice cream. You can wear New Orleans ice cream T-shirts.
Yeah, I got that. I'll do the New Orleans ice cream T-shirts, and you guys can do the
Is it scratch and smell?
restaurant revolution.
smell?
Well, you know, there's
All
three
over that.
things.
I'll just come and see you and bring some friends because that was great.
Yeah.
I wanna
That,
where
you
you're
know what?
playing.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. Thank you.
There's
Adrian.
three things that make people really happy: music, alcohol, and ice cream.
Hello.
I know.
I don't know where you've been
mean,
hanging out.
every-
but-
I say we
Everybody
go on
here.
tour.
This is
You guys need to all
yeah,
go
we
out
need
together.
to take
Need a
this on the
tour.
road.
This is okay. Hey, bandmates forever. Everybody in. Come
Yeah.
on.
Let's do
1,
it.
2, 3. Aye.
I'm
Revitangle.
I'm totally going to be the
Lucian.
first one who dies, so on. I'm
What makes you think that? Just your
the only one
terrible-
drinking for a start.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm drinking.
But I'm not going to inject wine, I tell you that for nothing.
Yeah, I think we gotta worry about silent guy over there
Yeah.
injecting the wine.
Injecting wine, yeah.
Adrian, how much ice cream do you eat a day?
About, that's an interesting
On
question.
another
It
note,
depends. It depends. Not a lot. Sometimes never.
Sometimes none.
Sometimes none.
When your
yeah.
But-
boss is around.
But no,
On an average day. So.
on an average day, a few little bites of ice cream.
Do you have to
probably.
do quality control all the time?
Not all the time, no. But you know,
Who does that?
why are you looking for a job? Is that
Well,
what you're
yeah,
saying?
quality control on ice cream.
That's a question I get asked most. Oh, I wish I could have a job being the ice cream taster.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, just do that at home and write me a report.
Ah, I like it.
Aye. But
Aye, I love that. Aye.
That must be a lot of fun making ice cream all day. What do you do all day? Do you make your...
That's pretty much go. Oh, sorry. We don't actually stand there making it. It's not like a Willy
Right.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Oompa
How do you
Loompas running
come up
around.
with a
you
new
know.
flavor? How do
Yeah.
you know that
Go out and
flavor
eat.
is right?
Instinct, like you with a song. You know, it's you
Yeah.
go when you actually go out and try something like bananas Foster. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Right.
Then you just
Yeah.
try and make it into an ice cream.
But a Doberge, nobody's done that, right?
Well, that's it.
Dobage.
Well-
Dobage.
Yes.
I'm from Metairie.
Yeah.
You sounded like you were from Paris there. Though. But anyway, the Doberge one was very easy. The secret is basically finding something that's sweet and nice, and then chopping it up and putting it in an ice cream,
Yeah.
and making it balanced properly. And that's what we did at the Doberge. Get some out, try some over there.
Yeah, break it
Yeah, we've got a
up.
whole bunch
Yeah, if there's a
yeah.
Dobage in there, I
Adrian,
need to
Do
try
not
that.
inject it though, because I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend that.
that ain't cool.
How many times do people come up to you, Adrian, and say, I've got an idea for an ice cream flavor?
Daily.
Foster.
Daily. Yeah.
What's the most common stupid idea that people
Yeah,
have?
the
tried?
worst one.
Flavors that we've already got.
City, right?
Do a chocolate city too.
I've got a good idea for an ice cream: chocolate.
Chocolate City.
chocolate-
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. And you don't want to be rude to people. It's getting a
oh.
bit melty, is it?
Hey, we need spoons. That's right.
Steve, do you
Molly,
see
do not
a
get this on the
Dobage in
It's
there?
actually nicer when it's a bit melty. I have to
Oh
say.
my God, that
I'll
looks
Do
good.
my best.
Hey, we've got tons of spoons here.
No, you were saying
yes.
the people come up and
try
ask.
it.
I like people doing that.
Thank you.
And having the ideas, but it's be a little bit creative. Come and
I'll
say,
share.
why haven't
Lemon
you ever made
cake.
a chocolate? And you go,
Oh
that's
my
a really
gosh.
good idea. We'll have to do that.
Well, you have to be polite to everybody, I assume.
No, sometimes I'm not. I'm like, really? Come on, think it through. It's like,
Holy
Have you thought
shit.
about sugar-free flavors?
well, there's no point.
Who the hell wants that?
I know, with respect to diabetics and all of that, there's no point. I mean, don't eat ice cream if it's sugar-free.
Right,
It's
exactly.
At that
Find
point-
another
It's
hobby.
like drinking like that non-alcohol lager. I mean, what's the point? It's not
Exactly.
fucking worth
It
it.
Yeah.
takes so much longer to hit
Oh
your
my
buzz
God.
on those.
That
It
Dobage,
Like
takes
3
forever.
years.
It takes forever.
the lemon
Drink
Dobage
Coke
is
with
so good.
Is that here
want to
somewhere?
rub
Oh,
it
that's
on
that
my
one?
face. It's
No,
delicious.
it's unavailable because I'm going to eat it all.
Oh, you're
You
going to
need
eat that
to
one?
try that right
How do
away.
you, seriously though, how do you come up with a flavor? I mean, you come up with the idea,
Well,
like,
yeah, it's
obviously.
you just keep your eyes and ears open. That's when we
but how do you
started
make
off.
it? How do you physically make that?
What do you mean? Like
We
you-
get a whole bunch of Dobash cake and
yeah,
stick it in a...
that's literally what we
And
did.
throw it in the freezer with some cows.
So there's a
Well,
standard
there's
ice
a-
cream base. that
Yeah,
you-
we use an ice cream base as a standard base, and then the base is really good. It's got butterfat and buttermilk and
Okay.
the best
God.
cream, and that's the
This is
starting point.
incredible.
But you make that yourself, your own base. I couldn't
That's-
go buy that at
No, you can't
Walmart.
buy that. No, you can't buy it. That's a start. That's why the secret is really.
Yeah.
But Then once you've got that good base, then it's what you put in it. Now, what you can have, the inclusions that you can put in it are basically anything you want. For instance, the Cajun rum raisin, we soak the raisins in rum, and it's a spiced rum, but it's only, it's so little alcohol in there, it's negligible.
You couldn't eat a pint of that. And
Actually,
you can eat 50 pints of it and get a buzz off it. But
well, actually, I melted it down and I just eat the raisins, and that's how I get a buzz. It's really nice.
Have you tried
Billy, I wouldn't be surprised.
injecting the raisins?
yeah. Steve's injecting it.
Everyone's injecting shit here. I'll have to leave. But it's, and then we, just messing around with it, pissing around then, and we put some cayenne pepper in there.
Oh my!
Just so when you're eating it, it builds and builds in the heat on it, which is really unusual. Now it's not one of the best selling ones, because when people try, it's like, what the fuck? It's got pepper in it.
Yeah.
But the people who love it.
Yeah,
So we keep that around. Now
I
with
love
with the
that.
lemon d'auberge, I was in Dorgnax and looking at the all the cake selection in there, the old school New Orleans cake selection. There's this lemon d'auberge, and like, wow, let's buy a cake and chop it up and put it in ice cream.
Yeah.
And then the other inclusion is this like tangy lemon swirl, which adds a base to it
Yeah.
as well. So you want it to taste like ice cream. You want it to have, interesting flavors and some uniqueness to it. And then it's just basically it's got to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to be
That
able
one
to
is
finish
really
the
good.
pot in one
Is that
go.
one selling
Really?
yet?
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
key.
selling a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I could.
Then we bring flavors out like baked Alaska. Does everyone know what a baked Alaska is?
Are you
Oh,
kidding me? We're from New Orleans,
Well,
dude.
no shit.
We
No,
know a
that's
baked
a- that's
Alaska.
really
well,
old
no
school,
shit.
though.
You'd be
I mean,
surprised.
come on.
Really back
This is
there.
New Orleans, dude.
The younger generation, you'd be surprised how many
I've
people
never
have
had
come
one.
up to me and said, "Has that got fucking fish in it?"
And you're like, what? You're like, yes. of
Yeah, I'm
course
gonna
it
bring
does.
out a fucking
Yeah.
fish ice
That's a
cream.
great idea.
Well, they're asking because you put cayenne pepper in the ice cream too, so they're wondering.
They're being
Yeah,
safe.
but fucking fish.
What about bacon? That's in everything now.
Well, bacon.
You're not doing that. Tell me you're not putting
Bacon is
bacon
good
in
with
this.
Well, no, there's a
everything.
restaurant that does that.
We have bacon ice cream.
And they put the praline crunch and they put bacon on top.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people with bacon?
have that.
Where did that come
Bacon's
from?
good, but I mean, it's not fucking.
You know what?
I agree.
I
I think this whole bacon bullshit
I agree. Bullshit
has
is the word.
become a total trend.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
blame
yeah.
the hipsters.
And it's like the mustache
I've
thing.
had
It's like,
bacon
oh, now
before.
I have a mustache
I blame
and I
the
eat
hipsters for
bacon.
everything.
I'm a hipster.
I didn't know there was a link
And I
between
live in the
mistake.
Bywater.
Oh, my
It's-
mustache is made of bacon. Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Now there's an idea.
It's this whole
Mustache is
trend
bacon.
thing.
It is. It's ridiculous.
I'm
bacon.
dirty and I have a mustache and I eat bacon.
Okay, what's
Yeah.
up with
Oh,
dirty?
it's
That, you've hit an
hipsters.
interesting
Basically
point there.
hipsters.
What is up with this dirt?
I don't understand.
Well,
it.
what's
it's
interesting
everywhere.
is that they actually, it's a fashion thing where they make themselves look dirty, but really they're clean.
You mean they take a shower before they get dirty?
So it's clean
Right.
dirt.
You
It's
have to.
clean
It's
dirt.
like
You have
multiple
to.
products, and then
Wow, who has the time for
they
that?
buy the clothes that look
Hipsters.
dirty.
Hipsters.
You said it, I didn't. You,
What is that?
said it. I
Where-
didn't.
No
where
way.
did-
And they drive their parents'
Yeah.
BMWs.
Is that
Right.
okay?
Trust fund kids.
Where did they come? Where did they
begging
even
on the
come
street.
from? Like I don't.
They
I,
grow
it-
them on vines.
It's like all of a sudden this hipster thing.
We were
like,
introduced to them in Austin.
They're really
okay?
bad in Austin.
We were in Austin, and
I've
we
heard
were.
that.
They're
Look,
really bad in
Austin
Austin.
has
Is there a
wonderful
particular
things
reason why
about
you're
it.
not sharing the ice cream?
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
Austin has beautiful things about it, but
more in
the,
there.
the
Grab some
people,
more.
the hipsters, I mean, we felt dirty in that city because they are, even though they look dirty.
What is
they're-
the best product for looking dirty? And where do you buy it?
It's like these the hair pastes or whatever that they.
No, I
put
didn't
in
know
there.
that they actually
There's
make
a-
the
there's a
effort to look
gel.
Oh
dirty.
yeah,
There's
this
a
is an
gel
effort.
that
They need
makes
to
your
come
hair
out.
dirty.
You can
Lights
go.
out.
You can go buy jeans now with the holes already in them.
Yeah.
Well, that's
a
one
good
thing.
product.
The holes is a sort of a fashion statement, but dirt is this whole new look of people looking dirty on this, like
Yeah.
you see them, especially musicians, by the way.
Right.
There seems to be a lot of musicians who have moved here in this last generation of kids who have come here and they're
It's
playing.
this look. Of,
Okay, here's the deal. We take showers before the gig,
Yeah.
and we go out
Who's
there.
going to come and see that?
We get dirty on stage.
We
We don't
get-
bring the dirt with us.
We
But, you
get
know, the
real dirty on
musicians have
stage.
probably been up all night or for a couple of nights, hopefully,
Right.
partying.
They work
these
for
these
that
kids
dirt.
who get up and they've probably gone, they're eating bran rice in the morning or something,
Yeah.
and sushi for
Tofu.
dinner.
That's what it is.
And they
It's
should,
not, it's not
they
dirt.
shouldn't be
They
smelling,
hop in
but they
their
are.
Prius.
It's
and
brown
then they're
rice. It's not even dirt.
completely or they're what's the fixed gear bikes, and
Well, you're really down on these people.
no, I'm not. Well, maybe I am, but I'm
No,
just
it's the
making
look.
fun.
It's not the
I've got
people.
your back.
It's the
Thank
look.
you, Adrian.
It's
It's
just
the look.
fascinating. That's
It's
all.
the look. It's the all
it's
black.
fascinating.
Yeah,
and,
it's,
like,
I have
all
nothing
all
against them.
black
It's
and
just
brown
really
chimney
interesting
sweeper
to
thing.
me.
yeah,
It is interesting.
Yeah, it's like
The bacon, the moustache, and the dirt. Sorry, Molly, what were you going to say?
no, it's just fascinating. I'm like,
Oh, why,
I'm like,
thank you.
like I said, who has time to make them? Who has time to make themselves look dirty? Who has all this time anyway? That's what I ask myself. I'm like, I can barely,
It
I
doesn't
have
take
a
myself
hard
put
enough
together and
time
out the
trying to
door
get
and-
myself clean, much less then regress back to looking dirty after I've cleaned myself.
Well, it must be working for them. Someone's like going, "Oh, you look great dirty."
Yeah, it's love at first sight. Somebody's
Oh,
falling
yeah.
in love with somebody dirty. Like, what would attract it to you in the first? It was the dirt.
Dirt is in.
Dirty rock and roll dude.
Look, I'm all in. I love scruffy dudes.
Really?
Look at your
But-
husband.
yeah, but scruffy is different from hipster.
They
But he's
Right?
natu-
I can
he's
tell
not working on
a
it.
naturally scruffy dude as opposed to a
Like me?
formulated
For someone who's
dude.
I can't grow hair to
What
save
is-
my
what's
life.
the difference?
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
Billy, you're
how can,
so scruffy.
how can you tell someone who's naturally scruffy from affected scruffy?
Speak
I
to
don't
them.
know.
Talk to them.
That's a good question.
Talk to them. That could be a good answer.
Yeah, maybe talk to them or look at their
Right. Are these
surroundings.
now these hipsters that you're
You
talking
know,
about?
Are
yeah,
they, is the
Their
per-
shoes.
I think you can tell when a person's genuine,
Yeah. No
or
doubt.
if someone's putting on it. Not it's like putting
Fake
on
dirt.
an air, but they're
It's a look.
they're more concerned about their look than you are.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
Punch them. There's another one. Punch them in the face.
Right, and see what
Really
happens.
Well, they'll look homeless, but they'll have an iPhone.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the weed smoking quotient among these hipster type people?
That's
what's
a
the
big
dr-
deal.
That's
What's
a
the
good
drug of
question.
They don't
Do
inhale.
you think they do? They smoke weed?
Well, I'm
I don't
asking
know.
you because
yeah,
I don't know.
Look, in Austin, it was like
don't know.
less than zero. I think they all were completely
Why, 'cause
So
it's
going
super
the other
healthy
way on-
types.
No, I'm
You
talking
can't
like
do that. You gotta smoke a little herb if you're gonna get dirty.
Well, that's what I
right?
was wondering. What the drug of choice is among the hipsters? Is
Why
it,
do you think my
Really?
ice
I think
cream
it's
sells
more
so
like
much in
a
those
cocaine
neighborhoods?
thing
it's
or
more of a
like
speed.
speed thing.
They're more speed people.
Yeah, that's what I meant. In Austin, it was like he even has a shirt that he bought in Austin that says Austin, and the A is a person snorting a line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we had
hipsters
to
do
get
coke.
out of there.
Hipsters do coke, and what real people smoke weed.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
That's a bumper
That's gonna be.
sticker right
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's a bumper
Billy,
sticker.
Billy,
I'm all over that.
market it.
Yep.
How
That's
much
it.
weed
You heard it
smoking is
here
involved
first,
in the
guys.
ice cream manufacturing tasting?
Well, there's got to be some. You
lot.
know, there's got to be
There's.
some.
I
I
guarantee you
couldn't
there
possibly
is.
comment, but well, we noticed when we first brought
That's a
it out,
comment.
when we first brought the ice cream out, the neighbourhoods that we sold a lot of, and we make this stuff up as we go along. Really, we're not like
Yeah.
experts at it. And there's certain neighbourhoods where we would put ice cream in and it would go. It would sell, in overnight. I'm like, why is it selling so much there? How can we replicate that in different neighbourhoods of New Orleans when we were bringing it out? And we couldn't figure it out. And then we figured out it was weed.
Nice.
And it was
How
if they
do-
were
how
open,
do-
The munchies.
If they were open late, these places they would sell shitloads because
Oh.
they.
Yeah.
And the first comments we got coming through on Facebook and places like that were, "Man, I love your weed.
Yeah.
I love
Get
your
baked,
ice cream."
eat ice cream.
Well, you know what?
And that's where I
That's
get recognized by people like you'd be hanging. I live in the quarter, so you'd be in Boston. Dude, are you the one who does that ice cream? And like, yeah, man. It's like a knowing wink, It's like
A free roll.
that's
of
a shit
papers
I
with
eat when
every
I'm stoned,
A free roll of
you
papers
go.
with every pint.
Actually, make this out of
There
rolling
you go.
paper.
What's the highest?
Yeah.
What's the highest weed smoking neighborhood? New Orleans.
Yeah.
Bywater?
There you go. It was the Maroney sort of area. That's where
Oh,
we
Okay.
well,
sold it.
there we go.
Frenchmen.
The
Frenchmen.
Frenchman Street.
hipsters.
The
in New
quarter
Orleans
still
like
does
weed.
quite well, but Uptown's a little bit. I mean, Uptown, you'd think, but I think it's it tends to be the older people uptown who like a good smoke and a bit of ice cream. So
Nice.
that's totally a billboard. Have a good smoke and have some ice cream afterwards.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Sounds
Yeah.
like our
That would be
neighbor.
a
Up
good
in smoke.
flavor too. Weed flavor.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment whether we've actually tried to make that, but
I'm sure you haven't, right?
Oh, wait a
That's
second.
a good. That's
I've
a
heard
good
of-
Mardi Gras flavor.
Yeah, I've heard of magic brownies. Can you do some magic
I
ice
couldn't
cream?
possibly comment again
Oh yeah.
whether we've actually made
Oh, yeah.
brownies and put it in the ice
You know,
cream.
Absolutely.
Great
Adrian,
idea.
Couldn't possibly
Adrian, I'm
comment.
finding a lot
Oh.
of you. I couldn't possibly comments from you.
Mardi Gras
Yeah.
madness. Hey, listen, I want to read you a sentence that I read on the internet from Molly Westmeier's bio here, which is
jeez.
put up by Restaurant Revolution. This is one of the best sentences I think I've ever read.
Oh, jeez.
After graduating from the university, listen to how many weird things there are in this sentence. After graduating from the University of Iowa with a degree in Russian. Okay.
Wow.
That's the first weird thing,
That's
right?
that's impressive.
Okay. Wismar relocated to Denver and freelanced as a translator.
She's a spy.
That's the whole
So
sentence.
is there a lot of Russian in Denver?
What the heck were you thinking
There's
there?
a lot of oil in Denver.
What
and
is
so
your real name?
It really is Molly.
Is there oil in Denver?
Flanushka.
Is that with an IE?
Not hair oil, you're not talking about.
No,
Or cooking
the,
oil.
no,
Actually,
the dark oil, the black stuff.
In the ground. There's oil
Yeah,
in
in the
Denver.
ground- in
Okay,
the
I
ground
never
oil.
knew that for one. Did anyone here know that there's an oil-rich state, Denver?
Well,
I
the-
know.
Colorado,
I
I
had
mean.
no
knew
idea.
that.
I had no idea.
all the oil companies are based out of there, and so
What? I thought
What?
that was like
I thought it
I
was
thought it was
Me
all.
too.
was
Yeah, I
Houston.
thought it was Texas.
I thought it was Houston.
Molly.
Or
There's
New
quite,
Orleans.
well,
Houston.
quite a few, and so they do a lot of business with like Kazakhstan and Russia. There's a lot of oil, and I know we don't all know about it here because
Did you say
I don't want to
Kazakh-
get too political, but you know the
Kazakhstan.
relation.
Say
Yeah.
that when
Is that how it's pronounced?
Say that when you're
Not
stoned.
Kazakhstan.
Right? Yeah.
Because only because I know Borat comes from Kazakhstan.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
So
it.
it's
hilarious.
actually Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Wow, okay. I think they would have got that right for a movie, wouldn't you?
That's all right. Whatever. They were having fun with it.
Have you been to Kazakhstan?
No, I haven't been there, but I did a lot of translating for oil companies for that, and like paralegal translating, that sort of thing.
Can you say something in Russian for us?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, like talk dirty to me in Russian, please.
God, this is a man who looks like Michael J. Fox asking to say it.
It's always those
I mean,
guys.
you know,
The baby
I am
face
just
star.
kidding,
Look at her
but
face.
no,
How many
really.
times have people said that to you?
Мое лицо это совсем красное сейчас.
We.
That's not right.
What did I just say yes
Said
to?
my face is completely red now.
No, you look fine.
Oh, just slightly.
What did that mean, whatever you just said in Russian? Or don't you want to translate that?
No, I just translated
Send it in on a postcard.
That's
Yeah,
what I
her-
said.
her
He
face
said,
is red.
She said my face is red.
That was what you just said. My face is
Yes.
red.
No,
Okay.
she said she wanted to come to the next Tangle show.
Yes, I would love that.
Exactly.
Where's it going to be?
Yeah.
It is going to be August 16th, Carrollton Station.
That's a great name, by the way, of a band. I've got to
Yeah, the
say.
Tangle.
Thank
Excellent,
you.
yeah.
Who came
And
up
that's
with
where.
that?
Carrollton
it-
Station.
Yeah, it was actually a bag hanging on the fence
Fence.
outside of our apartment, and we had gone through weeks of fighting over what the name was
What were
going
the
to
others?
be.
What were the others?
Okay, here you
think?
go. This is what happens when bands fight
Yeah.
over names.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
man.
becomes a possessive thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where one person goes, "What about Hard Rain?" and the other guy goes, "No, Heavy Rain."
Yeah.
And there's about 6 hours of that. A couple of guitarists crying.
You walk outside,
you
there's
walk
a bag hanging on the
outside.
fence that says Tangles, and you say, I got it. The Tangle.
It's like a
The
vision.
Tangle.
Yeah, that is a
It's a
great.
tangle
And then it
of
came-
different personalities.
But who claimed it? Did you see the band
Oh,
first?
I totally claimed
She's
it.
claiming. She's claiming.
Otherwise, it would have been heavy rain.
Right.
Yes. Oh. No, hard
Vanilla.
weather.
Dixie.
Hard
Yeah.
weather.
There were some bad ones, I gotta tell
Just as
you.
a good could have been.
What's some of the worst band names you've heard?
Like the Rolling Stones?
Oh my
no,
God.
just kidding.
What is that one you're trying, Molly?
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Yeah, it's
Is it
very
vanilla
good.
bean?
Vanilla
Yeah.
This is a-
Sometimes
What
the
the
most
hell?
simplistic. Oh my God, this is awesome. Like the texture, like
Yeah.
Vanilla bean.
and this is a professional taster.
Yeah.
Vanilla bean and dark chocolate.
But does it smell good?
Yeah.
What it smells.
What
good,
does your
yeah.
senses say?
it does smell good.
Did you smell it for at least 10 seconds?
Does it smell
not.
like?
I did not smell it for 10
Does it
You know,
seconds.
smell like
ratings.
like
Did not feel
fresh
10
mowed
seconds
grass?
to me.
No fresh milled grass in the vanilla ice cream. This is awesome though.
So
I'll
what?
tell you what, I don't want to eat fresh mowed grass or
No.
drink it.
Well, I have a
No.
few times, but I'd had a few. So woke up on a lawn.
No, we want fresh mowed grass in the ice cream.
Eee.
Should we get back to why people speak Russian in Denver? That's what I'm
Yeah.
fascinated
Yeah,
That's
how
good.
did that
So we
happen?
let Molly off the hook there so easily.
Yeah.
No
They
way. We're
emigrated.
back.
Called KGB.
We're so back.
So what happened when you moved to Denver to translate Russian for oil? First of all, why are Russian oil companies in Denver?
There
Are the Russians buying
American
oil?
American companies that do business like law firms and oil companies that are doing business with them. So I would translate documents. I was working in restaurants. I was always working in restaurants.
Right.
And it's really interesting. When I was studying at the University of Bio, I worked at the stateroom as a university restaurant, and the chef came from Commander's Palace. And when I graduated, he's like, now don't you go work in a restaurant. I was like, why not? Whatever, first thing I did, I go to Denver, live with my best friend, and I go get a job at a restaurant.
At the same time that you're translating Russian.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So do you travel to Russia a lot?
I did before.
Yeah.
Then the wine thing took over.
What's the food like there? I mean, I've always thought it'd
Food
be
is
crap.
actually really cool. We get a lot of they get a lot of bad press about it, but
Yeah. Like the English.
yes,
Yeah, the English
Yeah.
get a lot of
yes,
bad press
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the food.
exactly.
Well,
but
it's
the
true
food's
mostly.
no, but
Well,
like
I wonder how you got that.
it is really awesome though.
There's a
like-
reason you get bad press if it's crap. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
and the Irish too.
Yeah, the Irish too, but it's really. I mean, the potatoes and salads, meat is their dairy products are really cool. Actually, really amazing dairy products. Like the smetana is kind of like what we would think it's sour cream, but it's kind of yogurt or sour cream. Very rich, awesome texture.
What do you do with that?
Now you eat it in the morning. You put fruit in it.
Like
and
Creole cream cheese here. Or
A
something.
lot like Creole cream cheese. Yeah,
Nice.
Chef Fultz makes Creole cream cheese, and first time I tasted it, I said, "Oh, this tastes like."
We do an ice cream with it.
Oh, did
That's
you?
what- yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So
Break it out.
Where
break
is
it out.
it?
break
Where
it
is
out.
it?
Try
I
that.
don't know whether they've got any.
So,
there, but it's
Molly,
the
how does
best-selling
Chef Fultz find you?
He's in partnership with Chef Tremonto, who I worked with in Chicago, and then Chef Fultz. When first time he called me, it was awesome. Like with his Cajun accent, and I was like, "What is going on right now?" Like I couldn't understand him, but we had the most amazing conversation. He's so real. There's not a lot of BS with him.
What attracted you to when you were in the restaurant business? You were translating Russian in Denver for law firms, and then you went to work in a restaurant. What attracted you to the booze and not the food?
You have more fun when you're dealing with the booze.
Hell yeah, I would
It
say.
smells
Right?
better.
I just and I love people. I love talking with people, and I just all these desk jobs I tried, it didn't work out for
But
me.
you didn't feel like you didn't want to try cooking?
No,
So you said you just
No.
come to New Orleans. How long have you been here?
it'll be 3 years in
Oh,
October.
so quite a while then. So you're in.
Yeah, it took a
you're in-
year and 8 months to get the restaurant open.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
So-
What do
it's
you
a really
do
good
for-
restaurant actually. Have you
It
been
is?
there?
No, I haven't
Yeah,
been.
it's very,
been there?
very fancy. I had the gumbo in there where they put a whole bird in there.
Yeah.
A little whole quail like
Yeah.
dropped out.
Yeah. With andouille sausage inside.
Yeah, it's
Is it
very, very
expensive?
good. It's on the higher end, but it's fancy and worth it. It's a nice place.
worth it.
It can be, but you can also sit at the bar and
Yeah.
and get a burger and a
It's
beer and that
friendly,
sort of thing too.
yeah, I'd
so
recommend it. It's friendly.
We're gonna have to try that.
definitely, you all have to come
What did you
in.
do for a year and 8 months till they got it open while you were
I worked
buying wines?
in the Royal. Was purchasing a lot of wines. We have 10,000 bottles. We have
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's more than Adrian's drunk in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
What's the
Yeah.
point of that? Explain that to me. Why would you have so much?
It's New Orleans.
The yeah,
mean,
New Orleans.
Go through that.
Because-
I mean, what you
no,
saving
it's a great
for?
it's a
Just
great
in
question, but
case.
diversity and really, we're very heavy in France because and then Italy is probably the next, and the basis of the restaurant is the 7 nations that make up Creole cuisine in
Okay.
France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Acadia.
Two more.
Chalmette.
Yeah, England. I didn't mention England.
England wine.
Yeah,
England.
Never
because the
heard
British
of
came
the
over.
like. Really?
The British influence, yes,
That's
absolutely.
true. I guess there
And
was
then,
the Battle of New
There's
Orleans.
a
And then
British
the-
influence on
you
this
know,
whole afternoon.
And
as
then
well.
African American influence from the islands as they were coming over. So that's seven nations. Chef Fultz is
What sort of wine do they have in the island nations?
Bad wine by the sound of it.
Well,
I
there
mean,
was a-
have you ever had English wine?
I think Tenerife
No.
might
Yeah,
there's
produce
a
some
reason.
wine.
is there English?
Yeah,
There is,
There's
isn't
no
there?
vineyards in England,
No, I
right?
think
There
might be
are.
like
It's
one or
too
two.
cold and rainy. You need sun.
they're actually producing quite good sparkling wine.
No, it's shite.
Because the
It's
temperature-
shite. It's terrible.
Sparkling wine is not really wine, though, right? That's-
No.
Beer is
It
different
is,
though.
yeah.
Beer is
like-
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like Chelsea or something.
Yeah, sparkling wine's like my favorite category.
Are they real? Is
Cava,
that right?
Prosecco, like
Yeah, I love sparkling
champagne.
wine
and
as well.
bro- oh my
Rosé.
god, yeah.
I
It's
love
like,
Prosecco.
It goes with
Boring.
everything. If you ever any doubts and you're like, sparkling is boring. Did you really just
No,
say
I think
that?
that wasn't me.
I did.
I-
I'm sorry.
Billy
It
said
was
that.
Pass me-
old Michael
pass me
J.
the ice
Fox
cream.
over
Oh,
here.
I am
Pass-
never
Mr.
pissing you.
Mr.
off.
Michael
I
J.
don't
Fox.
think down there.
Hey, hey, hey!
do it.
I tell
Pass
you
me
what.
the ice cream.
Billy, you stick to the
You're
ice
gonna
cream.
have
You got daggers there.
You're gonna have to come into
Seriously,
Revolution
I
at the
just
bar.
say
I'm gonna
that?
show you what.
I gently
Boring.
shot myself there.
I'm just kidding.
Seriously.
Great
Revolution's a
Billy.
great restaurant.
Where's Boone's Farm?
Oh yeah.
Where is
Well,
Boone's
that would be
Farm?
somewhere out in California.
Burns Farm.
Where'd you get Mad Dog?
Yeah, Mad Dog. Hey, when I was young, I shouldn't say how old I was, but that was one of the first wines I ever drank. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I
Mad
did
Dog
that
2020.
too.
And does
Right?
that smell
Right out
remind
of
you
the
of anything
bottle.
now when you smell?
It certainly does.
What is the
Reminds me
bouquet
of
Boone's
puke.
Farm?
I had a,
Sugar.
I had a friend
Yeah.
who used to work for Southern Comfort, and we do these like
Okay.
tastings and stuff. But the first thing he'd say was, when you drink Southern Comfort, everyone would go, "Oh, Southern Comfort," because it was one of the first times you were probably sick when you were drinking.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
it's absolutely right. It was
Everyone's
weird too.
Why is that?
And he'd say, well, it
the
wasn't
sugar.
actually this Southern Comfort, it was the fact that you were probably 15, 16,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you drank way too much. So
Right.
don't blame the
Yeah,
drink, blame
it's
yourself.
true.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
did we all do that? Why did we
Because it was
first?
most palatable, it was the most sweet.
Sweet.
And,
Southern
Ooh.
Comfort is very
it's
sweet.
like-
I did
Yeah.
Bacardi.
It's got a special
I drank
flavor to it.
Bacardi
You should
straight.
revisit that,
Yeah.
by the way. Try
Bacardi.
Southern Comfort, it will remind you of sick.
Yeah.
And then once you get through it,
Oh, yeah.
you get back.
You need to get right back on the horse.
Talk about sense memory, huh?
But yeah, there
I have
you
a
go.
couple
That's
of those
exactly
that do that
beautifully
for
put.
me.
What other ones, Darcy? Have you
But
got?
that's good again.
Jägermeister.
Jägermeister.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
disgusting to start.
Jaeger.
That's
my
like total
God.
puke right
The
there.
taste
Oh,
of
yeah.
sickness.
Yeah,
And
nasty.
I loved it.
There's an interesting ice cream flavor, perhaps. It's like
Jaeger.
puke.
Yeah.
Puke.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I thought you were going for Jägermeister.
So
I'm
did
like,
I. We were sucking.
we're
Put a
doing a
little
whole-
dough bears in there, it'll be fine.
We're doing a whole
Dough bears.
range of
dough
alcohol.
bash.
Are you really?
Inspired ones. That's going to be the next way to go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Absinthe.
like,
Absinthe.
absinthe. We did.
does that taste
Which
like?
is licorice.
What's the?
Yeah.
There's another drink we did, and it came out terribly.
Herb
actually,
Saint?
but
There
no.
you have
Pimm's
a
Cup.
brandy milk
Sazerac.
one.
Pimm's Cup.
Sazerac.
We did a
Sazerac.
Sazerac ice cream, and it was like that tasted to me. It tasted like sick, but people who like Sazeracs were
I
like,
love
"Oh, that's
those.
great! You've nailed it!" I'm like, "Oh, you know," but it was.
Yeah.
How about strawberry? Have you tried
we
strawberry?
have
Okay.
strawberry.
Ponchatoula
Thanks,
strawberry.
Billy.
We have Ponchatoula strawberry.
Hey, what about a song?
That's a
from-
great idea,
Yeah,
though. Thank
it's a
you.
genius, yeah. What about a song from the Tangle?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going nowhere.
Absolutely.
Bring this
Wanna
thing back up
do
here.
one that you sing, Chris?
Okay.
Dude.
Chris is wearing an ice cream cap as well. It's his good humor.
Yeah, his ice cream truck is right out
You have your own
We
ice
brought
cream
lots
truck.
of ice cream today.
You've got
Nice.
ice cream outside in
He's
the
got
truck
Ben and
as well.
Jerry's in
Uh-huh.
the truck.
Ben and Jerry's.
He sells
Uh-huh.
Ben and Jerry's. He works for a company. who
Really?
sells
You sell Ben
I
and Jerry's,
actually
Chris?
have
and-
sold his ice cream before.
Yes.
Well,
Dude.
Ben and Jerry's
Small
got pissed
world.
off because
It
they
is
put
a
it in
small
freezers.
city.
well, so are you related to Ben? I mean, do you have to say nice things about
Uncle
Ben and
Ben,
Jerry? Uncle Ben and
yeah.
Auntie Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to say nice things about them?
No.
Because I just went to Zara's supermarket the other day, in fact yesterday, and I noticed that there was New Orleans ice cream and Ben and Jerry's ice cream right next to each other.
Side by side in
and,
harmony.
And the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, which is not as good as a New Orleans ice cream, costs more.
Oh,
Wow.
yes, it does.
Oh, it's-
What's up with that?
That's my fault. I want to keep. People always, when we first came out, were always saying ours is too expensive. I said, well, you know, we're just starting out, and it is. You know, as you get bigger, you can lower your costs.
Has
on
that
things.
happened?
And then that's happened. So I've never raised a price on it. So hopefully you see it around about the $3.99. And Ben and Jerry's keeps raising the price. Actually, Häagen-Dazs have done something where we've got a 16-ounce pot. You
Yeah.
buy Häagen-Dazs, it's actually 14 ounce.
No way.
So they took
made
2
it
ounces out and
smaller.
came in the same
Yep.
price.
Genius.
Cheeky.
No, that's
Yep.
good thinking.
Sneaky little bastards.
Do you remember when Häagen-Dazs
Smash
first came
'em.
out, how good it tasted, and you thought it was
good.
so great? Now it tastes like crap.
Yeah.
Compared
Maybe you
to
get
all these
used
new
to
ice
it.
creams,
Maybe
like
you get used to it after a while.
I
and
don't think so. I think it
premium's
was
not
that was all there
premium.
was. But there was like
Yeah,
you know,
it was.
And
there was
Baskin
Baskin Robbins, and then
And
there
plus,
was
they produce a lot more now, so the quality ingredients probably go down.
yeah. But
Yeah.
this stuff is awesome. This New Orleans.
It's
This
ice cream.
is
Amazing.
really
This is the real
good. Go
deal.
out and buy it immediately.
And
Run, do not walk.
Absolutely.
this next song by the Tangles is sponsored by New Orleans Ice Cream.
Absolutely.
Okay, what are you going to play, you guys?
This is called Together Tonight,
All right.
How are we gonna do it?
as we are.
It usually has a full band intro, so we're gonna.
Well, let's not
We can all
explain
join
it.
in.
Let's just
Okay.
I
play
mean,
it.
this is normally electric and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
We usually have a light fog show.
Just do it normal.
Okay.
You mean just strum it?
Yeah. And if there's anything in life
We'll go by the riverside. We'll go by the countryside. You can look me dead in the eye, 'cause we'll be together tonight.
And in the morning, you'll never be alone. I'll take another day together to call our own. I couldn't pass up this reason. We'll make our hearts grow this season. We'll go by the riverside. We'll go by the countryside. You can look me dead in the eye, 'cause we'll be together tonight. Could it be our paths have crossed for a reason? For it takes two lovers to make life pleasing. And if we're lucky, this day will always shine.
I'm yours and you are mine for all time. We'll go by the riverside. We'll go by the countryside. You can look me dead in the eye, 'cause we'll be together tonight. We'll be together tonight. We'll be together tonight. We'll be together tonight. Thank you.
Beautiful. Very
That's
nice.
actually a new one that
Brand
Chris wrote.
spanking.
Yeah.
And you know you mean it because you're husband and wife.
I
Yeah.
know.
You
I
have to
actually
mean
thought
every
of it.
one of 'em.
We looked at each other at that one part, and then I thought, "Oh man, we are gonna get ridiculed for that."
No,
No,
that was
great.
lovely.
That was wonderful.
That's very romantic. You wrote that
Very
together?
clever.
Yes.
Do you guys sleep together?
Occasionally,
They have a,
you
have a
know,
child.
when
I
you
was just
have
checking.
a,
It sounds like it. I mean, y'all sing y'all have great
quite
voices
frankly,
together.
Billy, when you have a baby,
Yeah,
you know.
that's fantastic.
How many people in the Tangle? This is the whole band. 4, right?
Actually, our
No.
bass player is
Oh,
not
there's a
here.
fifth person.
Craig Toomey. He is
Can I join? Can I
amazing.
join?
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, you were definitely in the band, dude.
Yeah.
And we need a good sniffer over here too.
Yeah.
Molly, you're in.
You bring the booze, I'll
Sounds
bring a
bad and
tambourine.
all liberal.
This
Craig
is
is
what I
our
read
bass
on.
player. Yeah.
And where's he today?
He's at work.
Yeah.
He
Oh, he's got a
actually-
real job.
Coast Guard.
Well, yeah, he works for the Coast
Guard.
Guard.
He's
Yeah.
saving lives.
Watching the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever something crashes in the river, he's right there.
Right.
He also has
So
a brand new
you-
baby.
You
so-
drive an ice cream truck, Chris.
Yeah.
For real, that's a real job. And
Yeah.
Darcy, you work at Lusher
I work
Elementary.
at Lusher Elementary. I run the Arts After Hours program.
Lanyard.
So you don't have to start working till like 3 in the afternoon.
No, I
Right.
go in at 10
Oh,
and I
yeah.
work
What do you do
till
till
6.
3?
I do paperwork and I
Paperwork.
I
Cut
put
out paper-
classes
Write
together
songs.
and I hire artists and do all that kind
And
of
so you're
stuff.
hiring
Yeah,
artists.
yeah.
What do they do if they work for you?
Well, I have people that teach guitar. I have vocalists. I have actors. I have chess players. I have painters.
You get a job teaching chess at Lusher? Mm-hmm. What does that
We have
pay?
a huge
Good idea.
chess team. It's $35 an hour, so.
$35 an hour.
That's not
Mhm.
for
bad
the
at all.
program.
Wow.
I'm going to learn how to
That's
play
It's
chess.
great
Yeah,
because
it's a long game.
The
It can
kids,
go on
It
for
gives
a-
the kids
The
something
kids
to
wanna
do
know how
for
to make
fun
ice cream.
after
It's not
school.
It's $5 an hour. I'll
I
teach them to
know.
make ice cream.
How did you learn how to make
There you
ice
go.
cream?
I just made it up as I went along.
You didn't
Really?
go to ice cream school, did you?
I didn't. No, we just make it up as we go along.
Well, what was your
Wow.
first? What was your first recipe that you looked at, like for the,
Well,
for
it
the
was
basis,
we did it with
the
coffee.
foundation?
Have you ever had the Cool Brew coffee? Like that.
I
never had
love
that.
Yeah.
cool
You do
brew
cold
coffee,
brew.
by the way.
That's
Yeah,
your gig
what I
too.
did. That was what I did when I first
Almond
came to
flavor
America.
fest.
So I don't drink coffee, and so we were sitting around one day, like how to expand the brand.
You don't drink coffee and you work for Cool Brew.
Well, yeah, I did, yeah, and I don't. I work for Coca-Cola, and I don't
Sweet
like
irony.
Coca-Cola. Isn't it just?
Wow.
Just it's like a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I'm
It
never
is.
gonna drink coffee.
I don't eat. I wish I
Especially
said I
now.
don't eat ice cream, but
I
I'm
know that
obviously
would
lying
have
out
made
my arse.
it.
aren't I, basically?
Yeah,
Goodbye,
we would
irony.
not believe you.
Yeah, there you
With
go.
this.
And I don't drink at all either, and no one can see because it's not on the radio.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
haven't had a drink in minutes.
Yes.
Double barrel.
I've got a face for radio, but then it's we've got a. With the ice cream, we made the ice cream with coffee in it. Got a chef to do it, and it was like, wow, this is actually really good. And then the light bulb went off, and all the other New Orleans flavors sort of like fell into place.
Nice.
And that's how it works.
Well, it's working out great, and now the ice cream is all over the country.
Yeah, we've got national deal with two national distributors, so it's a bit like a game of Risk. We're doing it like a state at a time, and
Right.
we do very well in Texas with all the expatriate New Orleanians and
Yeah.
people who
Yeah,
try it.
yeah.
People who
Miss
try it.
home.
Well, people who try it and actually go, wow, this is the best, and then we win national awards now, best ice cream in the country and stuff.
Wow.
And
Okay, listen.
What about the king cake ice cream? Somebody
well,
did that. And it was really good.
someone's already done that,
Yeah.
so we don't copy anyone else's. We
Right.
let them copy us.
Who makes king cake
Yeah.
ice cream? Here in New Orleans?
Bluebell, the
Do they
Texas
really?
company do it.
Okay.
yeah.
It wasn't.
Ah.
I
And
tried
G-
it.
and
It was
G&S
somebody else.
Gelato
It was-
did it as well.
That's the
yeah.
one I tried.
But that's gelato. That's not ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Is it
ice
gelato or
cream man.
gelato?
Potato.
Oh, no.
Hey,
What? I don't
We've
It's
come,
tomato.
we've come to the end of happy hour,
Oh,
ladies and
no.
gentlemen. I'm sorry, but
Well, let's
it's
have
time.
another-
We haven't finished our
It's
drinks.
we've got
Or
drinks.
our
Look how
ice
much ice
cream.
cream we've got.
We're about to drink.
Thank
that.
you'll
you
have us
so
back
much.
next week, he
Come
said,
on,
okay.
just stay here till next week.
I know.
Molly
I think we
Westmeyer
could.
joined me, who's the wine director at Restaurant Revolution. Adrian Simpson, the creator and co-founder of New Orleans Ice Cream. And the Tangle, Steve Chiswick, Billy Shell, Darcy Malone, and Chris Boy were my guests here
And
too
Craig
at
Toomey.
Happy Hour. And
Craig is
in
here in
spirit.
spirit.
on the river. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe. Christian Unruh is our music director, and our web designer and link to the real world out there is Dr. Cliff Brigden. Caroline Kaufman is our intern. Our theme music was written and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. The fabulous audio quality of this show is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. PreSonus makes some of the best audio recording and live sound products around, including Studio One music production software, Studio Live digital mixing consoles, Era Studio monitors, and much more. You can visit presonus.com for more information about that. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour, drop us a line. Our address is on our website where you can check out our other happy hours. There are many more to listen to, as well as some other shows. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace. Mindset with psychiatrist
own.
Dr. Nick Pajic. Peter Raschuti's your uncle.
Yeah.
True to the Game with Chris True and Tammy Nelson. Vietnola, our show about the New Orleans Vietnamese community. And Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canada. You can keep up with us by liking us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and do a whole bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, thank you for subscribing. Maybe you could take a moment to rate and review us. That will help other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at the fabulous Casa Borrega on Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. In Central City, a bar, a restaurant, and a live music venue. Come down and check them out. Happy Hour is a production for INO Broadcasting, for itsneworleans.com, for Andrew Duhon, who's somewhere in Europe. Mitch Foreman is on the piano. I'm Grant Morris here at the bar at Casa Borrega. For me, everyone around the table, and back at the office in INO Broadcasting. Thanks for joining us here. See you next time on Happy Hour.
Hear that? That's the sweet sound of Minute Maid slushies at McDonald's, turning up your summer with every sip, slurp, and ah.
Get a small sweet peach, blue raspberry, or fruit punch slushie for just $2. Or get any size soft drink for $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with combo meal.